If you can create this object in Blender, you officially belong to the higher end of the bell curve. So today we're going to learn how to make a drill bit with clean topology. So this is going to be an excellent topology exercise. It's also going to help you delay Alzheimer's disease. So the first thing we're going to do is create a new cylinder. We want that cylinder to have 32 vertices. Then in edit mode, delete the faces at the top and the bottom. With Control R, we're going to add exactly 9 loop cuts. That's because that turns this into little squares, which we can then use as tiles for creating the shapes that we need here. And then you're going to duplicate this object and lift it up by exactly, what's that, 2 meters. And Shift D, do that one more time. And maybe one more time just for good measure, but we'll be able to extend this further later if need be. So now we have to make this geometry diagonal so that it can support that spiral shit that we need on this drill tip. So we're going to go to Add Modifier, go out here to Generate, and in the Generate section, you're going to click on Decimate. If you're not familiar with the Decimate modifier, it's pretty cool. I suggest you look that up because we're not really going to talk about it in this video. It's also one of the things that I talk about in my Blender Masterclass course, where I basically break down every single feature that exists inside of Blender. So if you're a beginner, that's going to help you learn pretty much everything you got to know about this program. That's down in the description. Anyway, we're going to go over here and click on Unsubdivide, where we set the number of iterations to 1. You apply this modifier, and as you can see now, our geometry is moving diagonally. So now we have to start creating the spirals. And by the way, guys, the audio might be a little bit shitty today because I'm moving to Warsaw for the summer. So I already flew out half of my gear out there, and I'm just filming from my phone right now. Anyway, this is what's going to happen now. We're going to move over here to side view, and in side view, we have to designate a little surface where we're going to create our first circular hole. So that surface needs to be a 4x4, which means we can just select one face, Control Shift, select another face up here. So we got 4x4 like this in a diamond shape. Normally, if you want to mark an area so you can remember what it is for something later, you can go up here to select loop, select boundary loop, Control E, mark seam, and now the geometry here is marked, so we know we're using this. We don't really need that right now, but sometimes it might be helpful. It also lets you select that surface in face select mode with L, or select the other surface outside of it, so it's a pretty convenient selection method. Anyway, we're going to place the 3D cursor right here in the middle of this surface, and then with Shift A mesh, we're going to add a cube. Control 2 to subdivide that cube 2 times, apply the subdivision surface modifier, add modifier, this time go to deform, click on cast, set the factor here to 1, apply the cast modifier, and you're going to rotate this object by 90 degrees around the y-axis in my case, and scale it down so it fits into this diamond shape. And now with the 3D cursor set as the pivot point and the 3D cursor placed onto this diamond object, you're going to select the cylinder, and you're going to have to scale it down so that these edges over here match perfectly. So just one more time, that's the edge in the middle of the diamond here. You're going to scale this object very carefully until that's pretty much a perfect fit, as you can see right now. Well, we might want to pull this out just a little bit on the y-axis so we don't have this vertex exactly on the surface. In that case, you might have to scale this a little bit further, but as you can see, that's pretty much perfect. Make sure it's the same on the other side. And now select the cylinder, add modifier, generate, add a boolean modifier, target this sphere right here, apply the boolean modifier, get rid of this object, and now go to edit mode, go to face select mode, press C for the brush select tool, scale it up by scrolling down, select all the geometry that I'm selecting right now, X delete faces, and now we just got to do a little bit of very basic boolean cleanup to keep our topology clean. By the way, you guys should check out my free topology guide down in the description. It's going to tell you everything that you got to know about topology, and it's completely free. You don't got to pay for nothing. We're going to get rid of these extra vertices over here that we don't need, join these 2 vertices here with J and up here as well. And now we want to go over here to the back, where we're going to delete the same 4 faces that we cleared over here in the front. So X delete faces, place the cursor into the middle of the cylinder, select this surface, Shift D, right click, scale to -1 on the Y, and then scale that again to -1 on the X to invert it. And now this is where it gets beautiful. So in face select mode, we're going to select this and this, turn over to the other side, select this and this, and that should look something like this. You're going to press X delete vertices. You might have to get rid of some of these triangles over here at the top as well, but it should look like this. And now here's the high IQ part. So now you're going to select this edge segment and this edge segment over here on the other side. You're going to press P, separate by selection. That's going to copy this geometry and turn it into a new object. And now you're going to go to add modifier, generate. In the generate section, you're going to find the screw modifier. By default, that's going to turn everything into this circular shape, but if you turn up the screw value, you're going to see it turns it into a spiral. And now if we're careful, we can match this perfectly with the hole that we have down here. So you probably want to go up to the top and make sure this is a perfect match. As you can see, for me in this case, 6.4 meters seems to work perfectly. And we also have to set the number of steps here to 32 because that's going to make sure we have a match for every single piece of geometry on this part. I know it looks pretty shitty right now. That's because of some sort of glitch or something like that. But once we apply this modifier, we'll be able to turn the shading back to normal. The beauty of this is that now we can duplicate this and lift it up on the z-axis, and it's going to perfectly connect up here. Anyway, apply the screw modifier, select this object, select the other one, Control J to merge them into the same object. Now you can go to Object Shade Flat, and we have to connect the geometry over here. So you're going to select everything, press M, merge by distance. Something went wrong. The merge by distance tool didn't work, so I'm just going to increase the threshold here a little bit. So I'm just going to cut a 0 out, and now hopefully that works, and you're going to know it worked fine when you can select this entire edge loop and it goes all the way up to the end of the edge segment. And there you go. Now that's working out pretty well. If you want to stack this, now we're going to get rid of some of these face segments over here. Select this and this, get rid of those. And well, you can see where the cutoff is. If you want to have this same semicircular closing over here at the top, you're going to select the edge loop that separates that closing part from the rest of the spiral. Then we have to go up another 4 edges, and the same thing over here. We want to go up 8 edges in total, and then just select the same thing over here on the other side and come back up so we can connect the selection. Control E, mark seam. You probably want to get rid of these seams that we marked here before because, well, we don't really need those anymore. So we're just going to select those seams here. Control E, clear seam. And now we can press L to select everything down here from the bottom. And if we just place the cursor at the right place, which should be exactly between this vertex and this vertex down here, then hopefully when we select this, Shift D, right click, scale to -1 on the z-axis, then scale to -1 on the x-axis. As you can see, that matches perfectly. We just have to remove our double vertices or merge vertices by distance or whatever they call it nowadays. And there you go. Now we close this part. Now the hard part is, how do we create the tip? And there's a million different tips. If you look up drill bit, there's like 6 million different ways you can shape this. I'm gonna do it like this. We're gonna go to side view and we're gonna look at it from the side where we don't have this whole thing at the bottom. So for me, front view gives me this, where I can see the closing. 3 gives me this view. And then over here at the top, we're gonna place our cursor into the middle. So let's say somewhere around here, or maybe this one right here, because I want to make sure to completely cut off this circular ending here. So select both of these vertices in wireframe view, place the cursor right there. Matter of fact, we can select the edges which form a little triangle over here at the top. We're going to select those, separate by selection, which duplicates them again and turns them into a new object. W, bridge edge loops in edge select mode, scale them up on the x-axis, and then scale them up with Shift X, and then just extrude them and lift them up on the z-axis. And now you already guessed it, we're about to use another Boolean modifier. So select this spiral thing, go to add modifier, generate Boolean, target this thing at the top. By the way, make sure to save this because you never know when Blender's going to crash and ruin your fucking day. Apply the Boolean modifier, get rid of this triangle thing, and now we just have to clean up the topology up here. And a lot of times that is easier said than done. In this case, we screwed up because we should have lowered this object. As you can see, this part here already started to curve to create the ending. So we're going to undo a couple of steps to where we did not apply the Boolean modifier yet. And we're just going to lower this a little bit further down. So I want to lower it to around here somewhere. And now at this point, I'm going to apply the Boolean modifier, get rid of this object at the top. Now, first of all, we have to get rid of all the vertices which we have that don't serve any purpose. So that's the vertices that are not connected to any surface on the side here. An easy way to do that is to select one of these and press Shift G, select similar amount of connecting edges. Just make sure that you don't select an important vertex somewhere else. So you might want to have a look. And then once you selected them all, you press X, dissolve vertices. And hopefully that does not change the shape of your object in any meaningful way. For me, it does not. And then we just have a couple of these where we have to slide this vertex to the end to form a triangle. We do the same thing over in this case. We can have a triangle over here. I still consider that good topology because if we apply the subdivision surface modifier to this object, even though it has triangles, once we apply the modifier, those triangles get turned into quads. There is not a single triangle on this object now. If you have n-gons, however, that is a different story. So if you have something like this up here, and then you apply the subdivision surface modifier, as you can see, it's a fucking atrocity. So n-gons are completely unacceptable when you're using a subdivision surface modifier, but triangles are okay, and they're probably not going to give you any problems. So let's finish cleaning up the rest of this object. We're just going to have a look around to see what else we can fix. We want to slide these together to form a little quad here. If you want to, you can slide this up to get rid of some of your triangles, but I don't want to do that. We're going to slide this here and slide this one down, merge by distance, and before you know it, we got a pretty clean shape. Now we just have to take care of the n-gon. By the way, it's really important that these two objects are symmetrical, so they have to look the same on both sides, or at the very least they have to have the same amount of geometry on this outside edge. So you can select this segment on the outside, go up here to viewport overlays, check statistics, And over here, it tells you how many edges you got selected. We got 20 edges selected. Over here on the other side, when we select the same segment, it says we got 19 edges. So that means we got an extra vertex somewhere over here. As you can see, it's right over here. So we got to slide something a little bit more, merge by distance. And then when we select all of this, we got 19 edges here and we got 19 edges on the other side. So that's good. We're going to delete one of these faces and let's slowly start filling this up. I'm going to start with a little triangle over here, or maybe it'll be better if we keep this face and then we just cut along this face to create the shapes that we want. So for example, I want to have a triangle over here, and then I'm going to use my knife tool to connect this up here, hit enter, and then use the knife tool again to create a couple of cuts like this to connect the rest of these vertices here. Well, that didn't work out too well, so let's make another one and dissolve this edge right here. I'm going to try to bring this all the way to the top over here. So give me a knife tool, click here, click, 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 click. I want to make sure I have the same number of vertices on the inside as on the outside, and then I'm going to connect all that shit with my J tool. So you select two vertices, you press J, that creates a new edge between them, and then, well, we can just join these over here. Maybe we can even join this one, although that gives us a bit of a longer face, but it's still a quad, it's still pretty clean. Alternatively, you can make a knife cut straight through here, and then you want to slide this to the side, add another loop cut, and now you got a quad, so now you don't have any long faces. Anyway, now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 vertices here, which we still need to close, which means we can do Control R, loop cut, 6 loop cuts up here, and then just delete this face, select this frame out here. Well, we can't do that just yet because I was about to use the grid fill tool, but the grid fill tool requires us to have the same number of edges on opposite sides of this frame. As you can see, we got 7 edges up here, 7 edges down here, but we got 3 edges here and 4 edges here, so they are not the same. One thing we can do is connect this face segment into this one here. So I'll place my 3D cursor onto a vertex up here at the top, then select this geometry, extrude, and scale it down towards the 3D cursor, and then maybe scale it up from the middle. Fill this with a quad, connect this over here, and now once we have that, let's count one more time. Now we got 6 edges down here and 7 edges at the top. No problem, we can just take one of these vertices, dissolve vertices, select this edge segment, W, loop tool, space, select the entire frame, make sure that the active element is a vertex in the corner of the frame, and then you go up here to face grid fill, and Blender fills it up for you automatically. Now, disclaimer, the edge flow is completely fucked up on this object. You're going to see a bunch of twisting and overlapping if you select the right face segments. Thomas Colin would probably be able to do this better than me, but the topology is pretty clean otherwise. All we have to do now is delete the face over here on the other side, place the cursor in the middle, select this face, select everything that we have over on this side. You right click, scale to -1 on the Y, scale to -1 on the X. Just make sure you do that from the middle of the object because otherwise it's not going to work properly. And then we probably also have to connect these. We can just do that with the 3D cursor one by one. And before you know it, the shape is completed. All we have to do now is add a couple of bevels. That's assuming that we want to use the subdivision surface modifier. And if you do, then you probably want to bevel this geometry to sharpen it. So you're going to select all the edges which are supposed to be sharp. The best way in this case is to just do it manually because they all got different angles, so we probably shouldn't select by a similar angle. So select all the vertices around the top, select the vertices over here around these holes. Same thing on the other side, Control B to bevel, and just create a little bevel here which has 2 segments, profile shape value 1, and there you go. There's your drill bit. Tell me that doesn't look beautiful. I hope you guys learned something from watching this video. If you want to learn more about Blender, make sure you check out my Blender Masterclass course down in the description. If you want to ask a question, you can join our Discord server down in the description, or you can send me an email. There's also an email address down in the description. Just don't send me no spam or advertisements because I'm not trying to look at any of that bullshit. Anyway, like the video, subscribe to the channel, let me know what you want to see next, and I'll see you in the next one.